I think Rick and Morty's a good show. It's funny, creative, nihilistic, weird, and endearingly parodies many elements of pop culture that we all enjoy. It's a likable and goofy show. However, recently, for whatever reason, I have noticed that two groups, who are arguably just as bad as each other, have risen from the woodwork like the cockroach and rat-infested Pickle Ricks that they are. So let's talk about it. As the show has increased in popularity over the years, Rick and Morty has grown to have armies of fans so passionate that they might as well exclaim that you have to literally study Rick and Morty at university to even begin to understand the infinite complexities of it.
Oh, Pickle Rick! Pickle Rick!
And of course, there's the considerable rising opposing army of Rick and Morty haters. I have no problem with people labeling themselves as a fan of something. I'm a fan of plenty of things, including Rick and Morty. But I can't help but feel like my definition of what it means to be a fan means something quite different to a lot of other people.
Morty, listen, Morty.
When I am a fan of something, the furthest I will go is monetarily supporting it, whether it be merchandise like a t-shirt, DVD, poster, or Lego set or something, then following it on social media to see when more of the thing I like is coming. And that's kind of it. That's where it ends for me. Some people become so obsessed with media that they let it tie directly into their personality, which means if something they like is criticized by someone, they take it as a personal attack on themselves instead of on the media, which is what leads to these embarrassing comment chains and online battles. It really doesn't help that some of these ridiculous Rick and Morty fans attach themselves so vehemently to the most obvious and predictable jokes and references from the show. Things that are fine within the context of an episode as a one-off joke, but are just awkward when they're taken out of context and put in the real world. The other day I was walking my dogs when I was wearing a t-shirt with Rick on it. A stranger stopped me, stared at my shirt, then proceeded to look me right in the eyes and say, "Wubba-lubba-dub-dub!" I had headphones in, so I thought they were asking for spare change or something. So I took my earbuds out and went, "Huh?" Then they repeated the reference, loudly quoting, "Wubba-lubba-dub-dub!" for everyone around to hear. My response was, "Oh right, yeah." I was stunned and didn't know what to say, so I just walked off. I really could have done without having that experience. Now let me compare that to a similar scenario I had the other day when I was in a clothes shop recently, which was actually quite pleasant. Again, I was wearing a shirt with something I like on it. This time it was the album cover of This Old Dog that I bought when I saw Mac DeMarco live. One of the guys working at the shop, as I was handing him some clothes, simply said, "Hey, nice shirt." To which I responded, "Oh, thanks, man." And that was it. I have much fonder memories of this experience than I do the Rick and Morty one, because I can't add anything to a reference like that. What do you want from me? You want me to stand there and scream complete non sequiturs in the middle of the street? You want me to turn around and scream, "I'm Pickle Rick! Let's get swifty! Rick and Morty all day, every day! Oh, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me!" I'd look like a complete maniac. If the guy in the clothes shop had started to serenade me with "On the Level" once he saw my shirt, I'd equally want to leave with my head in my hands. I usually don't care about this kind of thing unless it dramatically changes the show or media itself as a result of all the attention. But to me the show seems very similar to how it's always been, except the animation is just getting better. But now, the second a joke or moment happens of a certain ilk, you know, like Pickle Rick or something, instead of finding it humorous in the moment, all you can think about is how annoying it's going to be to see this everywhere for the next few months. Like, if you want to sell people on why the show is good, why are you giving it such a bad rap? For someone's first experience of the show to be these seemingly random memers all circle jerking some cartoon, can you really blame them for finding it annoying? You guys have done a great job at making the community of fans who just enjoy Rick and Morty equally as obnoxious as that of the Star Wars or Undertale fandom. Ugh. But you know that now I find the Rick and Morty haters to be equally as bad as the fanboys. Some of them effectively claiming that the show used to be good until it got popular, just like those douchey people that genuinely get upset when an indie band they thought was their special little snowflake secret makes it big and is successful. What a crime. I know I've personally used the argument before that something is bad just because you can't escape it, like that scene in any number of movies where they've just broken up with their girlfriend and they keep seeing her face everywhere, except this time it's a pickle mech made up of pieces of rat and cockroach. But that argument only works to a certain extent. All of these trends and fads and memes come in waves. Do you remember when everyone wouldn't shut up about the danger zone thing from Archer? That was equally annoying, wasn't it? Good thing that's gone away now. Some of these people need to accept that there is plenty to enjoy about the show. And the other side need to realize that there are people who don't like it for reasons other than, oh, they're not intelligent enough to understand it. Which is obviously nothing but arrogant and completely laughable. You're not a better person than someone else just because you do or do not watch a cartoon that was created as a parody of Back to the Future. Get a grip. That was disgusting, get a grip. I'm gonna do my very best to not let these idiots ruin my opinion of the show. I know that there are some people who think it's gotten worse or lost its edge, and it's fine to think that if you want. Some people have even gone as far to say that it's the fault of women being added to the writing team for season 3, which might be a bit of a stretch, but you can read about it and decide for yourself if you want. I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pickle pole.